What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I am building a cozy country cottage. The cottage actually turned out to be a little bit bigger than I was planning on building, which never happens. It's usually the other way around for me. Like whenever I want to build a bigger house, it always turns out a little bit smaller because I am just way more comfortable building smaller homes. And so for this build, I actually wanted to do a smaller country cottage, but it turned out a little bit bigger and I'm not mad about it. I actually really like the way that it turned out. I think it's very cozy, however, it's still spacious. And I don't know, I feel like it has quite a bit of character to it. And the main reason why I'm building this house is because I wanted to do a build where I could use the new country kitchen kit stuff. Country kit, what's it called? Country kitchen kit, I think is what it's called. Anyway, I wanted to use those items because they're brand new and shiny and I love them a lot. And it's actually the only kit that I bought so far. I haven't bought the other ones. I don't know if I will. Maybe I want to buy the Bust the Dust kit, if that's what it's called, but that's mainly because I just like having vacuum cleaners in my game as items so that I can place them like in my builds because it looks like realistic and it's a fun little addition to the game. However, I'm well aware of the fact that I shouldn't spend €5 in my case, or $4.99 on a kit that I don't even actually will use. Well, maybe I will use the gameplay at some point, but for me it would mainly be because of the vacuum cleaners, like the items itself, and that's ridiculous. Like I shouldn't spend €5 on a kit just for those little items. Like that makes no sense at all. So I'm holding off for a bit, but maybe in the future, like in the near future, I want to try out the gameplay to see for myself what it's like, because I have seen a couple videos on it and it looks, in all honesty, it looks fun. Like it looks like a good time. It's a little bit weird and quirky, but I like it. And I like having chores in my game. I like adding to that realism. So yeah, that's maybe one of the reasons why I want to buy the Bust the Dust kit. I'm not sure if I will ever buy the other one, the cast one. I have no clue what it's called, something throwback fit or whatever. I honestly have no clue what it's called. I love the items. I love the cast items. They're very, very well made. They look really cool. And whenever I do gameplay, I feel like I would use those items a lot for my Sims, but yeah, I don't really do gameplay a lot. Like I don't play around with cast enough to be able to justify the purchase of that kit. Like it wouldn't really make any sense. And I know that like €5, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, honestly, it's different for each person. Like €5 may be a lot to someone and it may be not so much to someone else. Like it depends on a lot of factors basically. But for me, like it would be spending €15 as a whole, like in total, to buy all 3 of the kits. And I can't really justify that. Like, I don't know. I could definitely justify buying the country kitchen kit. And I think that's exactly what those kits are for. I know that I'm going off on a rant about the kits. I hope that's okay with you guys, but you can kind of see, like, in the meanwhile, you can kind of see the cottage come along and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But yeah, the kits, I don't know. I like them. I like that we have that new, like, addition to the game that is like, it's just very small stuff packs. And I like the idea that they can, I don't know, that they can include like some more niche items that don't really appeal to everybody. So like, for example, if you're very much into cast, but you're not into building, you can just buy the cast kit if it appeals to you, and then that's fine. So I kind of like the idea of being able to add more like niche things to the game without you having to spend a whole lot of money on a pack where you, for example, like the cast items, but you don't like the build buy items, but you're still going to buy the whole pack because there's no other way for you to be able to use the cast items that you really want. So I kind of like the idea that we have these smaller, less expensive kits that you can buy to make the game, I don't know, meet your needs, if that makes any sense, to like personalize your game as much as possible. And I really, really like that idea. Like, I like the thought process behind it. I am personally very excited for the build and buy kits that are to come. I really hope that they will make some really cool items, and I can't wait. For example, maybe we will get like a living room pack where there's more like couches and chairs and sofas. I think that would be a lot of fun, and me as a builder, I would be very excited for that. But then again, I think €5 is quite expensive for what it is. Like, they're half the price of a stuff pack, and I understand that. I can see where they're coming from, but I feel like the kits, what you're getting with the kits is less than half of a stuff pack. Especially when you look at the newer stuff packs, for example, Tiny Living and the paranormal stuff that we got. I feel like those stuff packs are very elaborate. Like, there's a lot of things in that, in those packs when you look at both cast and build and buy, as well as gameplay. So I feel like the latest stuff packs are very elaborate in that sense. And I feel like the kits are definitely less than half a stuff pack. And I'm not talking about the early stuff pack, like, dare I say, My First Pet stuff, for example, or the, what's that one called? Not the Vintage Glamour, but like the luxury party one. Looking at those packs now, they should have been kits. Regardless, we didn't have kits back in the day, like when those packs first came out. However, I feel like My First Pet stuff is not even that old. It was just a really bad stuff pack for what it was. I mean, I like the items, but that's a whole different story. But when you look at the party stuff pack, for example, like, that should have been a kit, definitely, because there's nothing in that pack. But yeah, so I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the kits are a little bit too expensive because, in my opinion, you're getting less than half the stuff that's in a stuff pack. And I feel like in the kits you get one aspect of a stuff pack because they focus on either gameplay or build and buy or cast. And when you look at stuff packs, you get all three of those things in a stuff pack. Not as many items, or not as many like cast items, build and buy items, or not as much gameplay. It's usually that one particular thing that your sim can do in regards to gameplay for a stuff pack. But I still feel like with the kits, you only get one aspect of those three things that you can get. So I feel like they shouldn't be half the price of stuff pack. They should be a third of the price of a stuff pack. And I don't know if you agree with me or if you disagree with me, or maybe you don't like the kits at all. Let me know, because I'm very, very interested in what other people think about this. But me personally, I am pretty excited about, being able to look forward to more build and buy items. However, when the kits first came out, I was a little bit like, it all happened so quickly. Like, I wasn't prepared for new items at all. Like, it just happened. They released them, like, they announced them, and then there was a live stream and they were already also released, and it was all very quickly. And I know that that's the whole thing with these kits. Like, they're smaller, they're quicker, they're easier to release and stuff, and I like that. So that you won't have these like huge gaps in between pack releases that we have now, which can be very frustrating, because from time to time I will be like burnt out from building a little bit, because I'll get bored with what we have in the game and I want new things, because I build so much that sometimes I just have to take a break because I'm looking at the same items over and over again. So I feel like I would want new stuff more frequently because I build so much. But then at the same time, I also always really enjoy the fact that I have something to look forward to. I really enjoy like when they release a teaser, for example, for a pack, like you know something's coming, but you don't know what, and you have to wait a few weeks for them to actually release like a trailer, and then you have to wait another week for them to actually do a live stream where they do a deep dive into the new pack or the new items or what have you. And I know that that's a lot of waiting time in between, which on one hand frustrates me sometimes, but on the other hand, it's something that I enjoy, and it makes me enjoy the new pack and the new items in that specific pack. It makes me enjoy the items a lot more. Whereas now the kits released and I wasn't even really aware of the fact that they were there. And then all of a sudden they were there. And then all of a sudden I felt like I had to do a build with these items because they're new and shiny, and I was so excited about them. But I was like, it was a little bit weird because I didn't really have any time to think about them and be excited for the fact that they were getting released. They were just there all of a sudden, which is the whole thing. And like I just explained, on one hand, I like that. On the other hand, I always enjoy having something to look forward to in life in general, but also in The Sims. I don't know. I just like it. I like the speculation. I will say I do always avoid, well, not avoid, but I don't really look for the negativity in the Sims community. I know that there can be a lot of negativity in the Sims community, especially when something new is released, or for example, when these kits are being released. I know that there is a lot of negativity, which is fine. Everyone is catered to their own opinion, and you should definitely speak up about it. And I think that that's perfectly fine. Like everyone should elaborate on their opinions, and everyone should be honest and stuff like that. But at the same time, I feel like there can just be so much toxic negativity in the Sims community, and I always kind of avoid that. Like I see it. I am on Twitter. I am on Instagram. I see it, but I just choose to not really read up on it that much, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this part of my rant. But yeah, I am personally just kind of excited about the build packs. I'm excited for what's to come. And now that I know that these packs exist, and now that I know that there from time to time will be items released without me having the time to adjust to the fact that they are being released. I know that sounds so silly now that I'm talking about it out loud, but I don't know, like I just explained, I enjoy the fact of knowing that there's new stuff to come, but not knowing exactly when, or knowing exactly when, but knowing that I have to wait a while. I like that. With these kits, that's not the case, and that's also very refreshing because I am desperate for new items. I definitely am. And I was so excited to see that we were getting these new counters that I'm starting to build with right now, as you can see in this very spacious kitchen. And I was having so much fun with it. I love these counters so much. I think they're so beautiful. They're so well made. They're so detailed. And I love the swatches on them as well. These softer pastel colors with the timber countertops, I think is so pretty, and I love them so much. By the way, my lighting is probably changing a lot because it is sunny outside, but sometimes there are clouds moving and I only have like one little ring light in front of me. So yeah, my lighting is probably very off, but it's okay. My face is very small in this video anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, back to the kitchen. I love it. I love these items a lot. I think they are something different. I have seen a lot of comparison to the Parenthood counters. I see that, I definitely do, but I feel like these are different. These are way different. They're way more farmhouse, country, cottage vibe. And I feel like the Parenthood ones are a little bit more, well, obviously, like a little bit more family friendly, a little bit more family home oriented, and these are a little bit more farmhouse oriented. And I really like that. I think that these are so pretty. I love the colors on them, like I said before. I love the sink and how it blends in seamlessly with the counters, because I feel like we don't have that a lot in the game. We have that with the Jungle Adventure. The Jungle Adventure counters come with a sink that is supposed to match, but whenever I try to make it work in a kitchen, it doesn't blend in as nicely. Like the stone on the sink is just a little bit different. Like the swatch, I think they're supposed to match, but it's always a little bit off compared to the swatches of the countertops. So that's always a little bit frustrating to me. I will use that. I will use that sink from time to time combined with the counters, but for this one, I was just so excited that it blends in seamlessly and it looks so nice, and I love the faucet on it as well. It's just, I don't know, I can't speak highly enough of these counters. I did have a little bit of a struggle with the cabinets because there is something off about them. I don't know what exactly, but they don't line up perfectly for some reason. I think they're very nice and I use them and I think they're really pretty. And I also love that larger one that I placed in the corner right there. But for some reason, there's something a little bit off, and I think it has something to do with the fact that the little, the smaller one, like the half-sized cabinet, if that makes sense, is not really a cabinet, but it's a place where you can like put your plates to dry. It's a drying rack, if that's what you call it. I don't really know. I like that, but it doesn't line up with the rest of the cabinets perfectly, and that's a little bit annoying to me. However, I did make it work though in this kitchen. This kitchen has a very funky shape, so it was overall a bit of a struggle to figure out how I wanted it to be laid out. But I figured it out in the end, and I think it turned out really cute. I love the blue countertops in here, and yeah, just the overall color scheme and the sink and the stove. And I have to say that the fridge is probably one of my favorite pieces of this kitchen set. I don't know, I just think that the fridge is so beautiful. I can't speak highly enough about it. I think it's so nice and very versatile, and I will be using that fridge from now on in all of my kitchens probably. I don't know. I think it's so pretty and so detailed and soft, and you can use it in modern kitchens, but you can also use it in more dated looking kitchens, and that's what I love about it. I love it when items have that vibe where you can make them work for both modern and older spaces. And yeah, that's exactly the case with these counters and the appliances for this kitchen set. And yeah, I'm just overall very, very happy with that set and that I have it in my game. And for me, that was €5. Very, very well spent. Like, it's just a very nice kitchen set and I don't regret buying it whatsoever. And that's how you might feel, for example, about the cast items and not about the kitchen set. So yeah, that's one thing I like about the kits. But yeah, back to the house. I didn't actually have too much of a storyline for this one because, like I said in the beginning of the video, I wanted to create a build where I could show off the new kitchen kit items. So I didn't really have too much of a storyline. I just knew that I wanted to build a country cottage, so that's what I did. But I was thinking when it came to the bedrooms, I obviously needed some sort of a storyline, or at least like family dynamic, to be able to furnish it. So I was thinking that this house belongs to two parents and a teenager. So there's two parents and a teenager living in this house right now. However, I feel like these parents have another child, but that kid is already older and maybe they moved out because they're going to university, something like that. So I did feel like these people that are living here, the parents, they're not the youngest parents, they're slightly older. They have older kids. They have a one kid living at home still, and I feel like that kid is 18, probably in their like senior year of high school or something. So also off to college pretty soon. And I feel like the other child is already a young adult and already off to college. So I was thinking that these kids, they used to share a bedroom, which was very cozy and cramped. And now it only belongs to the teenager who's still living at home. So yeah, that's basically the storyline that I had in mind for these people. You can see that the bedrooms are actually quite small. The house as a whole is pretty spacious, but the second floor is not that big. So yeah, this is the parents' bedroom, and I gave them a nice closet, and I also put the desk with the computer in here because I didn't really have space anywhere else for a dedicated office. office area or office space, so I decided to just put the desk with the computer in the parents' bedroom, and it works out perfectly fine. I also put a knitting basket in there so you have an extra skill building item as well. And I don't know, I felt like the whole knitting thing just went with this whole house, the vibe of this house perfectly, so that's what I decided to do. And here you can see that I am furnishing the teens' bedroom. I love the color scheme in here. I love the soft blue of the wallpaper combined with the soft red or purpley or pink or whatever you want to call it on the bedding. I just think that those colors look so nice together because they have the same like intensity. I know that these colors, maybe the colors don't necessarily go that well together, but because the intensity of the colors is exactly the same, if that makes sense, it looks good, at least in my opinion. So yeah, this bedroom is pretty small, but it has everything that a teenager would need. I gave them their own desk, so they have their own like quiet, nice little space to just sit down and do some studying. I also decided that maybe they're into photography. Maybe that would be a fun thing for this teenager to do. So I just gave them a camera, which is not a functional one, but I liked it there for the purpose of storytelling a little bit. And yeah, like I said, I gave them a desk. They also have their own dresser, not an actual walk-in closet in this bedroom because I didn't have the space for it. And I also like that difference between the master bedroom and the kids' bedroom. So yeah, there's that. And here I just placed an extra little shelf with some clutter because I felt like this teen needed just a tad bit more clutter items, like more school books or just regular books and just more knickknacks here and there. So that's what I did, and I personalized the bedroom a little bit with some posters and a little calendar and things. And I feel like that's about it for this bedroom already. I was also thinking of adding items for a pet in this house because I do feel like this house would be perfect. Like the people that live here would definitely have at least a cat, but maybe also a dog. But I don't know, I decided against it for this one because the items for pets do take up quite a bit of space. So I feel like if you want to use this house for your own personal gameplay and you want to add a pet, you can definitely do that by just adding some of the items that you would need for a cat or a dog or both. That shouldn't be too much of a struggle, but I decided to not use it for this one because yeah, I wanted to utilize all of the space for different things, I guess. And I also definitely didn't utilize the whole lot for this one because this is actually quite a big lot. I think it's a 30 by 40, and I wanted this house and the backyard to be a little bit smaller, but I did like this lot very much. So I decided to use this lot for this house anyway and just not take up all of the space. And yeah, so that's what I did. You could definitely make the backyard bigger if you wanted to because there's a lot of space left on this lot. But yeah, for the backyard, you can see that I placed a lot of planter boxes because I feel like it's sort of like it's a country cottage, but also has farmhouse vibes. So I wanted to include some planter boxes because I feel like the people that live here, they're probably very much into gardening. So I gave them some fruit trees and just some different planters as well that you can fill up with whatever you want. And also gave them a flower arranging table because I thought it was fun, and it always looks so cute. I love that item. And here you can see for the front porch, I just placed a chess table for an extra skill building item. And I just tried to make it look as cozy as possible with an extra little bench. And then on the other side, I also placed a couple of chairs with a table in between so you can just sit there and hang out for a bit. But that's about it. So let's hop on into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game. I love the overall vibe of it. It's very light and bright. I used a lot of lighter colors on the exterior as well as white windows with some black details granted, but I still feel like it looks very crisp and bright and just cozy and inviting. And yeah, the backyard is pretty spacious. I gave them a little pond in the front of the house because I thought that would be just a fun thing to add, and it gives the house a little bit more character as well. And then over here, when we move to the back of the house, we have this nice backyard with, I don't know, I feel like quite a bit of activities. There is a grill out here as well as an outdoor bin so you can throw away your things, and a lot of planter boxes. and a flower arranging table as well, so that's a nice addition. And over here on the front porch we have a chess table as well, so that's nice. And then when we walk through the front door, you enter into this quite spacious entryway. I wanted there to be a lot of storage space in this entryway, so that's what I tried to do. And I also placed a couple of chairs right here. I feel like maybe the people that live here, they made those chairs themselves. And then when you walk this way, you enter into the living room. It's not that big of a living room, but I still feel like it's very cozy. And yeah, just farmhousey, country, cottage. I feel like the vibe comes across pretty nicely. And then over here we have the dining table. And then when you walk through this archway, you enter into the kitchen, and this is definitely my favorite part of the house. That's also because the kitchen items are new and shiny and pretty. But yeah, I just overall really enjoy the vibe of this kitchen. I think it's very warm and cozy and inviting, and definitely a place where I personally would love to hang out. So yeah, it kind of speaks for itself. I cluttered it up a bunch because I wanted it to look as lived in as possible. And then over here is also a little bar area with some bar stools to just add an extra little breakfast nook where you can sit, or you can just sit there with your laptop, get some work done, whatever you want. And then when you walk through this archway, you're back in the hallway. So I feel like this house is very easy to route around, if that makes sense. Then when we go upstairs, we have this little landing area. What I don't like about this landing area is it doesn't have any windows, but it's fine. I couldn't make it work. So yeah, I just left it like this. And then over here we have the upstairs bathroom. There's also a bathroom downstairs, by the way. I forgot to show you, but this is the bathroom downstairs. So this one has a shower tub combination, and then the bathroom upstairs, this one only has a shower. So you have 2 full bathrooms, which should be perfectly fine for your Sims if you have 3 or 4 Sims living in this house. Over here we have the master bedroom. I try to play around with the color scheme a little bit, so I used this like gray or purpley wallpaper in combination with this yellow, orangey, and brown toned bedding, and I like it. I like the way it looks. It's something a little bit different. And yeah, here we have the little study area as well, where I just included a knitting basket as well as a computer, so there are some skill building items for your Sims. And then over here on this side we have the teens bedroom, and I really enjoy the color scheme in here. I think it's very pretty and soft, and yeah, overall just very calming to me. And the teen has their own little desk, and they just have a dresser right here, or a wardrobe I should say, and just a chair, a nice place to hang out. And then that's actually it for this house. So the country cottage comes in at 81,528 simoleons. As always, not very cheap, but my builds never are, so I feel like this is a pretty reasonable price for a house like this. But that's actually it for this video, so I really hope that you enjoyed this build. You can definitely go ahead and download it off the gallery if you want to. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so, and if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye!